all taught in school how a sperm and egg come together and form a baby. But how exactly does that single cell turn into the 26 trillion cells that make up a newborn baby? There's actually a lot more that goes into it than you might think, so let's dive in. First things first, a woman's ovaries will release an egg into the fallopian tubes during a time in her menstrual cycle called ovulation. After being released, a sperm may fertilize it, which creates the single cell that eventually becomes the baby. This is called the zygote. While continuing its travel through the fallopian tubes, the zygote starts to divide in a process called cleavage. During the cleavage phase, the cell's dividing, but the entire mass doesn't grow in volume. So instead of one cell dividing into two and becoming double the size, the cell divides into two cells that are half of its original size. This increases the surface area of each cell, which helps it bring in more nutrients. When the cells reach the uterus, they float freely in it, taking in nutrients while they continue to divide, until the mass becomes about 100 cells. At this point, it'll resemble a berry, hence its name, the marula, which is Latin for mulberry. The cells later start to condense to form the blastocyst. The blastocyst consists of an outer layer of cells called trophoblasts and an inner cluster of small cells called the inner cell mass. The inner cell mass goes on to form the embryo, while the outer layer of trophoblasts go on to form the placenta. After a week, the blastocyst is ready for implantation. During this time, the uterus has been receiving surges of hormones called estrogen and progesterone to prepare the endometrial lining to receive the blastocyst. They tell the endometrium to bind with the trophoblasts. The trophoblasts grow into the endometrium and begin to secrete human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG, which is actually the hormone that urine pregnancy tests are looking for to determine if a woman is pregnant. Anyways, the HCG tells the uterus to keep up the production of estrogen and progesterone. Once the blastocyst is implanted, the cells start to differentiate and develop a legit embryo and a placenta. Side note, the placenta is a fascinating organ that only appears during pregnancy, and it's created by melding maternal and fetal tissues together, and it serves with the umbilical cord as the main transport of nutrients and waste between mom and baby. Moving on, the embryo will continue to develop, and within 8 weeks, it is officially considered a fetus. After that, the cells continue to divide and differentiate, and it'll develop all the cells, organs, and tissues that the baby's going to need. Finally, within about 40 weeks, the single-celled zygote has developed into a 26 trillion cell baby who is ready to be delivered.